Mike Colleen at MikeColleen.com. I am in Washington, D.C. right now. Excuse my voice, I just woke up about an hour ago, maybe less. I don't want to be too loud. People are still sleeping. I'm in an amazing condominium. This is like, I've never been in a condominium this nice. Right now, I'm looking out almost to the coast, can't quite see it, but I'm in Falls Church, which is about 15 minutes, I think 20 minutes from Washington, D.C. Not even, it's probably 10, 15 minutes, because I can see the Capitol and the monument. I think it's called the Washington Monument, the big tall one. Anyways, let me show you. The sunset was up, but the clouds just came in. I took a shower, so I should have done that before. Here, let me show you real quick. Oops. Let's see if you can see it. So I don't know. It's out that way by that big building. Should be right about there. So I don't know if the camera's picking up, and the Capitol is just over here. Again, I don't know if you can pick that up with that camera, so let me kind of... That building right there, let's see if I can get, yeah. They used to have, I think it was the FBI in there, but they pulled them out because the terrorists, because it's too easy access to pulling a van in underneath the building down there. Let's see if we can get that. Anyway, so here's kind of a basic view of what I'm looking at. Alright, let's get back to it. Alright, so I got some quick thoughts for the day. I've got some video recording with my iPhone. I don't use that iPhone that much for this, so I don't know how well it's going to come out. But there was one where there was a guy, and I can't remember his name right now. I think it was John something, but he wrote the, I think it was Virginia's independence, and then that ended up helping to create the Declaration of Independence for the United States. But there's something very interesting. The guy was all about liberty, and if you've been watching my videos or have been working with Abenev, you see how Abenev is like mentally, like his mind is free, and now he's enjoying life. So a lot of people think, now the reason why I bring this up is a big core piece of it. There's a couple core pieces of my course, and this is one I realized I've never talked about. It's about becoming free. I call it stepping into your power. It's not about power over other people. It has nothing to do with it. In fact, that's one of the keys. You let go of that, and then you have your power, okay? So you can create your life. So a lot of people think when I get rich enough, when I make enough money, when I get my degrees, then I'll have my freedom. Or when I make a certain amount of money, or save up money, or have a certain home or business, then I will have my freedom. And you know what? You know, it's kind of funny thinking, what is a dating and relationship coach? Well, I'm more than dating and relationship coach. I work with professional athletes, businessmen and women. I coach communication, sales, influence. So what I'm saying is, ultimately what a lot of people are looking for, and the reason why it's a core part of my dating relationship course is because when a man truly steps into his own power, and he has liberty, freedom of mind, freedom of emotions, freedom of expression, just freedom just to be yourself, to walk and do and be. And that's something that Abenev said, because I would walk around all stiff and all tight. He's like, yeah, because you feel free. He's like, no, I felt like I was in prison. Most people, I'm not going to go into detail why this happens to us, whether it's the government, movies, your church, your family and friends. You know, there's lots of influence all around you, and you're always trying to fit in. When you do that, you put yourself in prison, and that's one of the keys. So I'm not going to go into details of how to do, because I've done it in my past videos. But when you truly find your own freedom, that's when you have freedom. Not when you make $1 million, not when you get that Porsche, Corvette, or whatever, Lamborghini. And it's funny because there's a lot of really rich people walking around kind of angry because, like, why don't I have what, me? Why don't I have what that guy has? It's because okay, here's the whole premise. They're trying to do it externally, trying to get something outside of their body to make them feel something inside. Now, here's the really cool thing about it, and it's been happening in my life. This is a perfect example. Me being out here in Washington, this is some things. Let me just back up. When you connect with yourself inside, when you relate to yourself, when you are at one with yourself, you get this sense of freedom that most people just don't have. They don't have it. When I say most, I mean 90+% of the people walking around the planet, they're in a prison of their own mind, if I can say that. And it makes you feel like, oh, I don't have power, I don't have rights, I don't have... If you're one of those people screaming about rights, you will never get it by changing the rules out there, by changing Washington, by changing your local county, by changing the people around you to get to treat you a certain way. Because here's why. If you were a certain way inside, it would reflect, because they'd be like, oh, you can't treat that person like that. Do you understand? So if you're resisting people, you're actually resisting inside. When you let go of that internal resistance with yourself, that's when all of a sudden everyone around you lets go of it too. That's what I'm trying to say. That's the best way I can say it in a short video. So let me give you an idea, a basic course, I guess, synopsis of what my course is about. Number one, it's what I call internal power. Okay, call it whatever you want. Internal awareness. That's another word I use, actually. That is what gives you that freedom of mind. Also, it's like your mind and your body just relax and opens up, and now you can access more of your intelligence. Okay, that alone will trigger women to be drawn to you, to be attracted to you, and that is what gives you more external social power. That's how it works. It's once you're free inside, all of a sudden you can influence people, not because you're controlling them. See, if you're controlling people, that means you've been controlling yourself. When you let go of that internal control, all of a sudden people want to talk to you. It's not, again, it's not about power over people. Let's see if I can adjust that. Oh, actually, it looks good. It's not about power over people. It's about power within, okay? And once you connect with this, people are more willing to listen to you. It's kind of like, okay, here's another example. Women will say, I'm looking for a self-led man. Guys hear that, and oh yeah, and they're doing this external trying to lead. Okay, I'm gonna give you a secret. You want to be a leader. You can't lead externally. You can't lead other people if you can't lead yourself. The way you lead other people is by leading yourself, and that's something I teach in my course when it comes to the dating relationships. This can be used for coaches, can be used for businessmen, CEOs, executives, and anyone. Most people try to lead external. I'm trying to make you do something. No, it's not the way it works. You have to have this internal self-led awareness. When you literally are, because most people are disconnected. Technically what it is, it's the left brain that's completely disconnected from the right brain and the lower brain. You're disconnected from yourself. That's why, because when I'm here, you're logically processing. When you open up the right brain, you're processing in the whole body, okay? So when you have a good connection left and right hemisphere, and it's balanced, that means you're connected within. People will follow you then. But if you're just kind of like trying to push, you're not leading. All right? Now here's the thing. Teach guys in dating relationships. Okay, you go to a club, how to meet a girl, and then you go towards a bar. If you're self-led, she will unconsciously follow you. You won't have to grab her. If you have to grab, you're not a leader. Okay, if you have to force, you're not a leader. When I was a kid, my dad taught me two things about horses and dogs. Because you never hit a dog, Michael. He goes, never. He goes, if you have to hit a dog to get it to do what you want, that means you don't know how to lead. He goes, a dog wants to follow you. He goes, but if you don't know how to lead it, it's going to be confused. So if you're hitting it, it's just going, what am I getting hit for? I don't understand, okay? Same thing with horses. All right, I'm going to give you a true story. A lot of little kids in third world countries, and I got this from Cesar Millan in his book, and I've actually seen it on YouTube videos, and I've heard it elsewhere. They would take these kids, like a father, and hey, go get the horses. This little 4-year-old little kid, 5-year-old little kid, he walks all the way out there, 200-300 yards or meters or whatever, and he stands there, and what it is, the kid's connected inside. And the horses connect with that, and the kid just turns around and walks back, and the horses follow him. That's how you do it. You don't grab the horses. You don't have to put a leash on them or anything. So when you truly have this internal awareness, people will just be more willing to follow you. People will not follow a follower. It scares them. So that's pretty much one of the core pieces of my course. Real briefly, so number one, you have to have the internal awareness, self-led person. That's where you get your social power from. Number two, what I'm doing is I'm teaching you how to open up to your right brain to understand how to process and be aware of that side of your brain, and I'm teaching you the internal language so you can speak the language that women actually understand. And a lot of guys are like, what are you talking about? Yeah, there's the left processor, the logical processor, and this is the 5 senses emotional processor. It processes through emotions and feelings, literally. When you learn how to speak that language, now here's the thing, you don't have to become emotional. I did not say that. And a lot of men miss, oh yeah, I cry at movies. So that's actually the opposite of what I teach in my course. It's not about being a baby. She does not want a baby. All right, so You speak the internal language and boom, she can relate to you. She can understand you. So if you're married and you want to save your marriage, you want to understand your wife and actually have a conversation, you better learn this language and become aware of it, okay? The third piece, which is connected to all of this, the internal awareness, open to your right brain. Remember, her mating system is connected to her right brain. So when you open up to her right brain, it triggers her mating system to be aware of you, to be drawn to you. That's you could sit in a coffee shop. When they see your body language, because when you shift from the logical angular square thinking, you literally think like this. You know how I'm like this, and you move more stiff. But when you open up to the right, your face relaxes, and your movement is physically more natural instead of. When people point and they do this thing, like right here, that's how you know they're in the left brain. There's a couple other things like the eye dilation if it's really small and the pupils are tighter together, like it's doing this. So here's the thing. So number one, internal awareness, self-led, gives you social power. That's number one. Her mating system is looking for that in you. Number two, and other people will be more willing to buy from you and be influenced by you. Number two, you open up to the right brain, you speak the internal language, she can understand you. That also, number three, triggers her mating system to be turned on, okay? And this is what women want in a marriage. If you keep trying to buy her stuff, buy her a nice home, a car, she loves that stuff. There's nothing wrong, but it's not her highest thing that she really wants. It's this internal, I'm going to say the key phrase, mental stimulation and emotionally fulfilling language. You do that, and that creates a meaningful relationship, okay? And that is what she's looking for. When they say bonding and emotional bonding, you have to do it through communication. Remember, men are turned on here. Her mating system is actually connected to the right brain processor, so it's through the ears. Men turned on here, women here. And this is very meaningful to them. And there's a step-by-step process that you have to lead her through in order for her to open up, even if you're married. And you have to repeat it when you want to be romantic, okay? It's not like you do it one time and that's it. You do it when you want to take her out to nice dinner. If you just take her out to nice dinner and you spend a lot of money on that, you just wasted your money. That is the setting, like the kickboxing ring, for you to begin to speak the internal language which melts her heart, okay? So this business is about social power, awareness, the right brain language, and there's patterns that I will teach you that trigger her mating system. They're very simple, they're very easy patterns, okay? You're going to be surprised how easy it is. So whether you're a single guy, married, in a relationship, you want to either save your marriage and enhance your marriage. Now, the word enhance didn't mean a lot to me years ago when I was doing the whole Tony Robbins things, but this makes it kind of like I'm out here in Washington D.C. This is the funnest vacation. One of the fun. I've had one in Hawaii that was awesome too, but this was the most meaningful and surprising vacation I've ever had. Everything is new, everything is fresh, and it's a lot different than what I thought it was going to be. So your relationship can be like it was when you first met the first 5 or 6 months. It can be this amazing experience again, all over, simply by learning how to open up to the right brain, be aware of her. From that, you will create that back and forth fun and excitement and the meaningful emotions you had before. Okay, so the fun comes back, the sex comes back, the passion, the romance, the excitement, it all comes back because now you're connecting on that level. I'll explain more later. So, another part of my course, I'm a personal development coach. I walk you through a lot of your own limiting issues and beliefs that hold you back. So we clear all that stuff up, and all of a sudden you're just walking through life. If you talk to Ben right now, he goes, it's literally just that's what it's like. He goes, before it's like I was closed off. I go, because you literally were like closed off, and you didn't know it. And he's like, now I know I can go to college. Now I know I can buy that car. Now I know I can get a raise. Now I know I can get a better job. Whereas before, he's just like, it's like the brakes were on. He goes, yeah, that's what it felt like. I was in a cage, like I couldn't do anything. Now you can begin to create your life in the way that you want. Here's the thing. Once you begin to walk through this stuff, you're like, wow, this isn't like this magical. And a lot of people overthink, oh, this magic sounds magical. It's really not. Once you see what it is, all of this from the communication side, the internal awareness side, to a lot of guys, you might say, this sounds kind of weird, hokey pokey. Once you see what it is, you're going to be like, oh, it's not that big of a deal. So I'm going to leave it at that. If you're a guy and you have not bought my book, Crack the Female Code, go to crackthefemalecode.com. And I've got about 4 books on that page now. I got a 5th one I'm writing, actually a 6th one also. Those aren't available yet. Get the book, Crack the Female Code, okay, at crackthefemalecode.com. I highly recommend you get the package. It's a $45 package, and you get all my books and an hour on the phone with me to ask me any questions, okay? This is Mike Colleen at MikeColleen.com. I'm making a brand new website. I'll put that in the link for MikeColleen.com. That's going to have everything from sports to dating, relationships, business, sales, etc. All my influence and personal development stuff. Crack the Female Code is probably just going to be the dating relationship. That's going to be I'm going to try that out. Try 2 websites. We'll see. But anyways, go to Crack the Female Code, crackthefemalecode.com. The only thing I can say right now, being out here in Washington D.C, is this has been an absolutely inspiring. That word is thrown around a lot, but I mean, I've been overwhelmed. Like what you see. The experiences. I saw a guy at the Vietnam War Memorial, and he just started crying. He was a Vietnam vet. There's so much I could tell you. Like, when we went to the Korean Wall, there's a bunch of Koreans. It was such a difference in people, a shift, and it's not even too far away. There's so much from what Martin Luther King says, and everyone from Washington to all these guys. The one thing that I've noticed is they all are talking about liberty and God and the inspiration from God, and how freedom of the mind. Even that word years ago, freedom of the mind, it's like whatever, but it really is. When you have freedom of the mind, your body relaxes. So I'm going to leave it at that. This is going too long, but I'm going to upload some videos and some pictures and stuff of my trip, and I will see you guys soon. Get your butt in here. This is Mike Colleen at MikeColleen.com, 415-456-8558. I am having the vacation of my life. See you soon.